Mm. So consciously, let's enter this field and let's see if you can track it in your own personal system, whatever that means. How is your system doing it? So no right or wrong, can't mess it up. That's the good thing. Just how is the system doing it so that it really becomes a new pathway that's available to us whenever. Now see, my system takes a breath. That's a start. And every system will do it, has its own words and will describe it differently and will maybe even have different pathways. And it might change even. Some of us might get a felt sense. For others, it might be energetic. And for others, it might be just imagination. For some of us, it might get quiet. For some of us, the sense of connection might be more conscious, maybe even a felt sense of connection. For some of us, we might tune into so-called other, so that the nervous system comes into tune and regulates through another. So many different pathways. For some of us, it means including embodiment. And for others, maybe not. So no right way, no wrong way, like always. Entering the field of just exploration, where there is no judgment, not the usual, just stepping out of that usual realm of good and bad, right and wrong, into curiosity, aliveness. Maybe you might notice how your system slows down. And maybe it's speeding up, who knows? And you're very welcome to share what your system, your personal system, how it does it, to step into the field of union. Feels very quiet to me when I tune into the field. It's like something about this exploration I can feel. It's as if it's very grounding, earthing. It's also kind of, at least for me, no end to this exploration. It's not, now I've got it. It's just it's spreading and spreading and it's as if one can feel how it's reaching out into this field. Laura.
I don't want to interrupt the quiet, but yeah, I just wanted to sit for a minute and just deepen a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's just it's so like obvious. That's what I'm noticing. That yes. When we do this, it becomes so obvious that the other things that that are being dipped into or we're being pulled into, it's so obvious it's not that.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And that, I don't always recognize that. Not to this degree.
Totally understand.
I can just feel my system like really resonating and then heightening and then
yeah. Beautiful. And it's not interrupting the silence at all. It's actually, even speaking about this, how we enter this field, how our systems do it, is kind of opening pathways.
Yeah, that's what I could feel like.
Yeah.
I felt like I needed to speak it, to like have it come out of me, to deepen a bit more into it.
Yeah. Yes.
But at the same time, there's a lot of movement, so I just didn't want to
Doesn't disturb at all the movement. So I'm curious if you even like to speak more about it. How is your system doing it? How is your system going about this, the entering this field of, I'm just calling it the field of union, just to give it a name.
Do you mean in this particular moment and experience, or generally in my life?
No, just now. Just now is the best. And it's so fresh, and you can even invite us to feel it, or invite us to do it with you, kind of. we're mapping each other in a way. It's like, that's how her system is doing it.
And it is like that movement, like everything moves like that, and you guess I can map it. Yeah, is the word.
Yeah. Yes.
Then
there comes a breath.
Yeah, it's like when you started talking, it's like the breath came and everything woke up and opened up and was like, oh yeah, I remember. And I guess you feel everything, so I can feel the heart beating, and whether it's going faster or I'm just noticing it, I don't know.
Yeah.
The cells just become very alive, and there's a few movements, and and there's just I guess the mind comes in a little bit with some anxiety, but at the same time everybody feels like we're in our own way settling together, but in our own ways.
And how is your system kind of going about it? It's like, what's the first step?
I guess it's just dropping. It's just
I could feel that. It's like as if something just stopped, and maybe I'm wrong. I'm just, what I sensed. It's like a stopping and going inward or something.
I think as it drops, like I'm never sure on this language, but it does feel a little bit like the pathways and the cells are rearranging, because they're actually getting to relax, not from the mind, but completely. And
wow.
That's where I think a bit of twitching comes, because it's just like,
yeah, I get it. Yeah, a bit of twitching. I like that. Yeah,
it stops, and maybe if I hadn't have spoken, it would have stopped even more. Now there's a bit more movement because I'm speaking, but yes, it stops. But at the same time, I felt an invitation of wanting to just
I think it's really important, actually, that speaking about it. It's very important. You get even more aware of how it is doing it. And it's so difficult to put words on, isn't it?
That's the problem I have. I didn't speak much in the retreat because every time I went to, there's this have you heard of imposter syndrome? Like this feeling like everything I'm speaking isn't true, and like I don't feel, I don't know, I just this untruth coming out, even though it's not like that. It feels like I go into something that's not.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't recognize myself actually when so it takes quite a while to just drop into that space to speak from there. But then I can feel like in connection with another, it can go even further when it's got a bit of time.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
there's such a like shakiness, but it feels so helpful. Like it's finding itself, and it's like, oh, I'm, you know, there. This is where it is. Sorry, my nose is dripping a bit. It's cold here.
That's also healthy. Dripping nose.
I think the reason I said earlier about, did you want me to speak about now or generally, is because there is such an influence that doing this has on everyday life.
Oh. And did you want to share something about everyday life? Was there something?
No, I was just aware that it's important for me to also include that, so it doesn't become like this and then I go back to my life. Like it does filter out, and it's the same thing in a way.
Yeah. In daily life, your system is doing it differently. You know, stepping into this field. Yeah. Oh, I would love to hear how it's doing it in daily life.
I don't know. I'm just always kind of aware of how my system's responding, and I'm not too pulled about by, depends on the scenario and the situation, but I'm just very aware when my system responds to something, or I start going into, like I was saying, when I came here now, I felt a dropping because there'd been a lot of pulling away from my family and people around me to do with stuff, and there's a bit of doubt that comes up. Maybe I should be more interested in that. And then I come back here and I'm like, oh no, that's not where I'm interested.
Yeah.
So when I'm out and about, that's always very present, and I'm just quieter, and I'm more in my environment. I do lose myself, but nowhere near as much as I used to. Like, I don't know, I try and speak the truth when I can, but it's not always possible. But I'm aware if I'm not, so then I take myself maybe away, or I don't know. And it just feels softer and quieter, but it does depend on the environment. At the moment, I live on my own, so I have a lot of space to come back to myself if I've been busy. But in a week or two, I'll be living with my family for a couple of weeks, so I might get more pulled in. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm mostly aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm very sensitive to other people.
Of course. We all are.
Yeah, but more so.
Yeah.
I think before I was sensitive to the mental stuff. Now I'm sensitive to watching how they respond, in their system. The beliefs and the graspings and the defending or disconnecting. And I'm very aware of my body.
Mhm. Ah, it's such a miracle, huh? This body. I mean, the whole thing, but also the body. Wow. Such, oh, it's just doing its thing all the time. Just by itself. I mean, really by itself. Huh? It feeds itself. It
Yeah.
cleans itself. It grows itself. It's just,
I think that's the interesting thing, like as you become aware, so like becoming aware of my body, but then also the awareness, it gives that separation of I'm not doing this, or it's like when I'm out and I'm with people, I'm aware, but there's a bigger thing where I don't really know anything, and I'm aware of the birds, but I'm like, that's like completely mad, or the light, this is, I don't know. There's such a don't know around now, and very little idea of what might happen or what's next, or
yeah.
that's just all like gone away. I just,
Yeah.
I'm aware of stuff more, but then there's a bigger knowing of I have no idea. Just a lot more allowing myself to do what I need to do on this, whereas before I was just like, and again, it's a bit more like that in daily life, being more allowing of when I respond, when I react, just letting it all do what it needs to do to come.
Oh, so good to hear, Laura. So good to hear.
I'm just noticing how once it really settles, it can start tracking like you a little bit as well.
Oh, fantastic. I'd like to hear if you have any words. No, really, no need. It's just, it is so beautiful to give words to it. I know it's actually not possible, but it does something. It does something beautiful.
There's just such an element of me not knowing how true it is what I'm saying. But I think what happens is So it goes from me, like really involved in myself and tracking myself, and then it can go to you, and then over time it can be the same. Like when you talk about the mum and the baby feeding, it's like that, but it takes me a little while to get there.
Oh, but that it's possible is absolutely amazing. And it does take a while because, you know, this other realm that we find ourselves in most of the time is so demanding. It's so, it's so demanding. Yeah. So, you know, it's actually very quick. If you look at it, it's like, okay, now it drops and drops and drops and it arrives here. And then in its own timing, it comes out and it reaches out to itself. And it's like, it drinks the meeting in a way. It drinks and kisses at the same time. Yes.
So I guess like I can feel in you like an interest and a interest in my system, but you're not moving away, you're just...
Yes. Yeah. I'm actually not moving at all.
No, you're not moving away.
It's really funny. Yeah, it's like as if the system is available, huh? It's more like that. And then
curious.
Yes. And you don't know from where the movement comes first, from the so-called outside or from the so-called inside. They start moving together, huh? It's like, oops, yes. It's like,
and there's such a like desire for that.
Yes, exactly. Oh, yes, feed on me. You feeding on me is food for me.
I didn't know if that was coming from me or from you, but I guess it's both.
Yeah, who was first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
It's that you just don't know what was first. It's just this, being available to itself without moving. It's so funny because, but it moves. It's paradox, huh?
It's a different movement though, like it's not a movement away from, it's a movement like into.
Yes. Yeah. But that movement into is not pushed. There's no push in there. It's like, it's just when it's ready, it just does that, like a flower. It just opens by itself. The sunlight comes, and who was first, the sunlight or the flower? It's like that meeting. No?
And there's like, when it gets there, there's so much potential and so much interest and so much like clarity. Again, though, it's not a known clarity, it's just obvious. It's so obvious.
I love how you speak.
And then the mind flicks to out there and it's like, so difficult out there.
But from here,
I totally,
like, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah,
mind.
my interest in out there has diminished quite a lot.
Yeah, because this is, like you said, there's such a potential for such a creativity. There's like, whoa, this is the world. Huh? This is the real world. Just for using words again. This is where it's interesting. Yeah.
And I just want to say it's not, you know, it's not always like this. The retreat, you know, things come up and you dip in and out and you feel like this and then you don't. And some people say things and you can't relate and then you can. And it's so changing all the time. And it's me being okay with that as well.
Yes. I mean, my personal experience, as this is growing bigger, it really doesn't matter what shows up.
No.
It does not make a difference. You know, there's not even really a preference. It's just, it knows it's in the flow. It just, then it comes to this again. Wow.
It's interesting you say that, because I had such a different experience on the retreat this time, and a part of me wanted to like make something of that and I just didn't, and I just let it do its thing. And then I've been really aware the last few days that that was the thing I needed to do, and it was
exactly
it was like fine.
Yes. I'm glad to hear.
There's lots of things jumping about. It's really quiet now.
And full, so yummy.
And again, like, so much can happen in quiet. It doesn't mean anything switches off. But
Exactly. But it is, you know, as if we have entered another realm. That's how it feels to me, and we've done it consciously, which I find very, very exquisite. It's like it knows more and more how it is actually doing that, how it's accessing this realm where we find ourselves right now.
what do you mean, like how you're accessing it?
Yes, it's, you know, it's when the whole system has learned something new. You know, it's even like writing, you know, it's all of a sudden it becomes very interesting to write. But remember when you took as a child pen for the first time? I remember that too. And whoa, the letters, I didn't even really know how, and it was hard. And was like, you know,
Yeah.
making those letters and how they looked, and then all of a sudden you have a style, even you have your personal handwriting. And
Yeah.
so this is kind of, you know, at first it's like, how did we get here now into this meeting? How, from mind being busy, from having sensations that are whatever all over the place and jumping around, all that twitching and whatever it does. So all of a sudden we start having our style, you know. Every handwriting is different, you know that. It's like
Yeah.
one to the right, one to the left, one straight, one all over the place, one beautiful, you know, like all these different styles. So we're kind of consciously developing a style. So your system knows its own handwriting here.
And that comes out in everything, doesn't it? Because like,
yes,
what I really noticed in the retreat is how,
yes,
even though everybody has their own experiences and their own expression and their own challenges, it always resonates with everyone. So we all know it. It's just your own unique expression and experience. Like, we all know maybe how to write, but each one is different and unique. And but we can resonate at the ground level of what that is, but it's different.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So with that's kind of what I mean with entering, is like kind of starting, you know, develop a pattern actually.
Yes, a pattern, but
and it's
all from the same place originally. And
exactly. And we witness each other. So my system gets to learn how your system does it, and your system gets to learn how my system does it. So we kind of, you know, when these meetings happen, when we drink, when it drinks of itself in a way, then it's like this download that happens, this amazing intelligence. It's like, wow, that's how Laura tastes or feels, or it's like, it's that unique mapping each other in a way and getting to know everything like that. And knowing that there's no difference, even though there's every time it's totally different.
And I think more understanding and like from the human side, more compassion and understanding comes, because you know, we do get triggered by one another and we do not always get one another, but if you can download and track more subtly, there's more understanding for that when it comes up.
Exactly, yes. And then, like you said, even in so-called daily life, in that other realm, is all of a sudden there's more and more awareness of, wow, that's how it works. And when it steps back, maybe for a tiny moment, how was it again? How did my sister, it just dropped there for a moment. And then all the other expressions too, you know, because we witness each other. So we know how everyone is doing it in their unique way, and it becomes available. So that's the fun. I find that is absolutely exquisite. That, you know, these moments, and it grows. Every time that happens, it gets bigger. It gets bigger.
I actually feel like, I mean, it's a combination, but of course these meetings are the thing that help. But going into the world gives me as much information into then how to come back here, like how to regulate. It's so important that I have a daily life to not practice in, but get more information to bring back and see through in a way.
Yes, exactly. It is a practicing in a certain way. You know, it's like when you really want to create your handwriting style, It is, you got to do it. It's with everything in a way. The more the system does certain things, the more it feels at home in it, isn't it? It's just walking,
even
running.
in turmoil or difficulty.
Exactly. So then it becomes, when it's consciously witnessed, it becomes more and more available to itself. It's just like that. It's like, oh, yes, of course. Check, you do this. Oh, no, yes, yeah, I've done that yesterday. Oh, today. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's amazing.
And those things actually become enjoyable as well.
Absolutely. That's the fun when that happens, when you see and it connects the dots. It's like, check. Oh, it's so satisfying. I jumped over this today. Whoa, it was even a meter higher, or whatever.
Yeah.
And you don't even, when you start with it, it's like, oh my God, I don't even have no clue how to do it. Yeah, and that's fun. That life loves that. That's life at its best, isn't it? It's exciting in a beautiful way. Yeah.
Yeah, there's been such a non-enjoyment of this life. So even when you speak that, I'm like, oh, is it enjoyable? I'm not sure I'm used to that yet, but I know it's there.
Yeah, it becomes more enjoyable the more this realm grows. That's my experience. So that it has access to everything. Because if it's finding itself only in that daily life run, oh my gosh, it's very, very hard to recognize this.
And that's where the doubt comes from. It's the head and it's the old ways and it's the out there ways.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. It's grace that our systems have found this. It's absolutely amazing. Most of our playmates here on the planet don't have that. You can see it. It's just confusion and running around and righteousness and just the whole thing. So we are very, very lucky, I would say. And let's see how it evolves and what it wants to evolve itself. So it's exciting. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm aware of everybody else, so yeah.
No, thanks, Laura. This was very beautiful, inspiring.
Thanks.
And if anybody else likes to share how the system is doing it. Bettina.
Hello.
Hi.
I don't know if my internet connection is good today. Can you hear me?
Yes. So your system is starting with the breath. Can you describe, Bettina? I'm very curious how you would speak it.
the beginning, there was some kind of recognition, is it right?
Recognition?
No.
Resignation. Aha. Resignation. Okay. Hmm. And what happened then?
It steps somehow a little bit back, more back.
Oh, okay, it stepped back. Mhm. How can you give me the felt sense of that? Can you do it again, kind of, and show? Yeah, show us. There, you did it. Yeah.
And it's somehow step back. I don't know a better word.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like step back and watching.
Ah,
Watching.
yeah.
And perhaps it's an interpretation. It's somehow step out of life and
Oh,
watch.
wow. Wow.
And there's a part that doesn't like that. Feels like losing somehow the life. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. So there's an interpretation.
Yes,
So
yes.
that movement gives a certain sense.
Yes.
But so, okay. Okay. Let's see, how can I ask?
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
It looks like a fight somehow with the ego or something.
Something. Yeah, it looks like a fight. Yeah. Oh, I love how you describe this. So it likes to take the invitation, which is amazing, but then it comes to a conflict. Do I understand that right? Far out. Yeah. 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 Oh, and slowing this down, Bettina. Slowing this down. This is so, beautiful. It's so beautiful that it shows itself. So just letting it know, no right, no wrong in this. No right, no wrong. It's more, what an honor that this shows itself to us. So no wonder that there's struggle. Huh? If there's a conflict, it can't, then it doesn't know in which direction to move. And it's like, oh no, it's kind of as if it gets stuck, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And somehow fighting something is.
It's fighting. Yeah. Far out. So how is it when it's spoken?
It's much better.
Yeah.
It's more space and seeing. It's better seeing.
Oh, how wonderful. See that again. How wonderful is that? You know, whoever or whenever was there the time and the space to really have a look at this and to give it space.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So, yeah. So right now, no need to move, no need. It's just that it shows itself. And it, like you said, it gives more space. Yeah, breathing comes. Yeah. And then we can look again and we can see what it would like to show us next.
Yeah, there comes an anger that I can't do it better somehow.
So a sense of I comes in.
Yes, I have to
Is-
know that, and I have to do
Yeah.
it right. And how long did I
Yeah.
take to recognize and learn, and so all those.
Yeah. So some shit.
Really.
And with a strong sense of I, huh? Something
Yes.
is like putting its foot down and say, man, how much longer do I have to do this? Yeah,
And
good.
you have to do it better.
And better. Yes, of course. Yeah. So thanks for showing this. I mean, no wonder, huh? If that is all going on in the system, it can't move freely when all of that is doing its whatever it's. Those are the words for it. Yeah. And then again, let's just see, since this has shown itself, anger, this really doesn't know how to do it and it feels wrong. Knows it now. Let's see what it shows now.
Some relaxation happen.
Yeah.
And it sees that's not a beautiful way to. Not so beautiful.
No. So right now it doesn't need to do that. Do I understand that right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not really helpful.
No.
But it
But it
happens all
didn't.
the time.
It didn't know better, huh?
Yeah, no.
It didn't know better. Yeah. Nobody ever stopped. Hmm.
It comes
Until,
again, but you hear it so much, and it's all again.
yeah. Also another wave of that. But this is not anger, or well, how would you call this?
It's somehow punish or yeah.
Punishment. It's
Punishment.
punishing itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Something is punishing. Okay. Yeah.
That's a habit, really. I can see that at the moment. It's a habit. An old
It's a habit.
from
Old
parents.
from
Yeah.
from parents. Yeah. Also good that it shows itself. Old habit. Yeah. Some relief. Just right now, it didn't punish itself.
It really doesn't like it.
It doesn't like what?
It's punishing.
No, of course not. No, of course not. Then again, it can't move, isn't it? It's like it doesn't know which direction.
Yes. I
Yes.
don't know how to do it different.
Exactly. So, as life just doesn't function like that, isn't it? Life really has actually not a clue what's next. And then another pattern comes in and says, but you should know.
You should know. Yes.
You should. Like,
You really should know.
yeah. 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 Mm. And then let's just see, entering this rhyme again, the rhyme of union, the rhyme of equality, same, the rhyme of peace, love. And just hearing those words, how is your system? What's happening in the system?
It's get quieter, somehow slowing down.
Yes. Far out, huh? Yeah. And something is noticing that. Something is right with it. It's witnessing. Ah, it's getting quieter. It's slowing down.
It comes more in the body now.
Oh,
Notice pressure here in the legs.
yeah, yeah,
Releasing.
yeah, yeah. Just by us giving this invitation, huh? That's what it does. It's like relaxing, coming more into the body, slowing down.
And it's there comes the thought before I noticed the body also, but now it's a little bit different. More, yeah, there's more space.
Wow.
There's more looking
More
from
space.
outside.
Say again, and looking from the
And
outside?
it's more looking from outside, not so focusing, more wider.
Ah, okay. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful distinction.
Not so criticizing, more
Mm. Mm. Mm.
letting go and letting do this thing. So. Not so much involved.
Yeah, yeah. And how do you sense that? What happens?
I don't know. Just noticed somehow.
Yeah, it's just noticed somehow. As I can see, it's like even the questions that I'm putting out, it's like, wow, the system doesn't really know, it's never been asked that way. Yeah, it's like, huh? What do you want? Kind of stuff. Yeah, but it considers, it takes it in. I can see it's like, and it's curious. I can feel curiosity.
Yes,
like,
me too.
Yeah, yes. So it's finding words for something brand new, or expression for something brand new. And you can see it's like, don't know, have no words for this. I really don't know.
It's more, it's freer of the conditioning. It has to be, and you have to do, and
freer of the conditioning. You have to do and to be. Yeah.
more the allowance. I don't have to know how.
what happens with that?
The legs starts moving.
Yes, yes, yes. And you know, it's so funny what I'm noticing with that not knowing. It doesn't know, but at the same time, then it's at its best. You know, it's like then the
Opens
freedom
for
to
other possibilities.
exactly
Yes.
opens for other possibilities. Oh, fantastic, Bettina. Yeah. Because it's not shutting down, it's not closing its eyes or anything. It sees, but it, yeah, open for other possibilities.
Possibilities that doesn't know here. Yeah, I don't know. Es hier noch nicht bekannt ist oder auch nicht wissen muss.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't need to know those new possibilities. Yeah, yeah. But it's available, huh?
Yes, and
it's ready.
It's exciting, yes.
Yes, yeah. It's in a way childlike,
Yes.
but conscious. Because it has learned already so many things. So it's not just running into the fire and burns. It's because it knows that. It knows it. Yeah.
Shaking in the body.
So good. I can feel that. It's so good. It's very alive. I'm giving it all to the center of the earth. I mean, it's just an image in a way, but you know what I mean, so that it can free flow. It can just. And yeah.
It's an allowance to not know.
Yeah. 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 Which is the truth, huh?
We don't know really.
No, we don't know.
Tries and tries.
Yeah. And at the same time, we do know. But there's again, it's like when it's free, is a different kind of knowing nearly. So it's just free to move. And then
you said, and somehow we do know. And I would like to ask, because that's the whole thing that troubles me with this Corona issue. Perhaps it shows like that, but there is a knowing that's not okay what's going on here.
yeah. How cool is that?
Yeah, there was the part not sure if it's if it's true what is feeling here somehow.
Yeah. You know, how can we say? Yeah. So we know we can't figure it out through the mind. We know that. At least that's my experience. The knowing comes not through the mind, through that usual mental activity. It doesn't. It's more, again, when we enter this space, this realm of equality, of no judgment, of no right and wrong, that other possibilities, like you said, open up. And then it seems like it naturally moves, I would nearly say more in a healthy way, because it's in contact. It's in contact with itself. So like I saw that it was so beautiful when Laura and I were coming into that contact where you don't know who's reaching first, but there is just that, it's just this meeting. And in this kind of meeting, when it recognizes that everything is actually self, it acts differently. It naturally feeds itself. I don't know how else to say that. It's, yeah. It naturally takes care. It naturally, if something is in trouble, it naturally does the right thing. It's so funny because that right and wrong doesn't exist in this realm. It just moves. It moves more fluidly. It just moves on constantly. It doesn't get stuck. A clear yes comes and a clear no comes. There's no right or wrong in it. It's like, it was always beautiful when Isaac's children were little, and I was invited to play stepmom and all that stuff. And they were so smart, they were asking for something. And the moment I was hesitating, they zögern.
Yeah.
The moment, they were asking for something and I actually didn't want to give it, or it was actually, but I would hesitate. Ich habe gezögert. Then they would nag until they had me twisted and turned. Whenever I had a clear no, it would be just clear. If I would have a clear yes, same, and then there was nothing. It was a very, very beautiful teaching. There was no right or wrong in it, but it was just clear. We would not have to discuss it. We would not, and I was always amazed. Like, how did that happen? But the moment I would not really be in my balance or in this field, they would get me. I tell you, they would get me.
Me too. Me too. There was a lot of moments I'm not clear.
Oh, for me too. But it was a huge learning because I recognized that. It's like when there was even no bitterness or no fight or nothing. It was just the no would just come, or the yes would just come in that clear way. Yeah. Nothing. It was just clear. We would do what we had to do. So that's what I see when the more we enter this space of clarity, of movement, free movement, then it just goes in a different way. So your system is sensing something is off. Don't even need to think about it. It's just the system is noticing something is off. And then also the system is noticing other things. It's like, oh, this is good. this is right. There, you know, it can make that distinction.
Yes.
So we don't need to go into a fight. We don't, you know, and then you will see it might not be like that for everybody. Might not, but something in your personal system says this is not right, this is off. Yeah, it might stand up, you know, it depends on what your system is about. You know, there are some people that are so-called activists, you know, they go out on the street and they say no, and others stay at home, say also no, and then there's, you know, there's just all of it.
Mm.
Yeah, and then we will see where it goes. That's all I know.
What really is clear is the no to that habits, but what's not clear is how to move. There's a wish to do something, but it doesn't. Somehow it tries
good.
to speak, but it doesn't function. I don't speak the right words. It comes always in a whoop.
Beautiful noticing.
Yeah.
Beautiful
to be
noticing.
quiet.
I don't know. Who says? Who says? Who says you have to be quiet? Yeah. You will see. It speaks sometimes, and sometimes it clashes. You see that too. So what? So what? So what? That's what life is.
It's more, when speaking is happen, then there's I can see that it's trying to be the other different, or to want to see that the other, yes, and that doesn't function. And I don't really know how to speak from here.
Even that doesn't matter. Even that doesn't matter. There is an interest of learning. That's what you can say. There is a sense of something isn't right, and it would like to share that. And it's, you know, it's like a child getting up on its feet and doing its first steps. That's all. So if there's a judgment on top of it, then you can see, then the whole trouble starts. Then it's in that other realm. The moment it comes into, wow, oh, it tried, you know, and oh, it fell over. And then it gets up again on its feet and it starts all over again. That's just what life does, constantly. Yeah. If it's possible, take the right and wrong out.
Right.
Yeah, you know, and if that is not possible, you see even that. Kind of meeting oneself from wherever it's possible. It's like next step. No, there's another judgment. Okay, then go one further down. Oh, there's another judgment. Until you, from here, this I can meet. And that's where we start. That, I mean, for me, the same. Sometimes system gets activated. It's like, whoa, what was that? It's okay. I'm starting again. That's all we can do. Huh? Or we can do the old pattern, beating itself up. Yeah. The doubt is beating ourselves up. So there's this, you know, that awareness of noticing what that personal Bettina body system does. But, you know, if possible, you know, from a different perspective. From within itself, it will beat itself up. So when it steps out of itself, the possibility opens to be kind. At least in my experience. And that seems like a lifelong task for us.
That's the thing, yes.
Yeah.
Again and
Yeah.
again.
There's no end to it, obviously. And that's the wheel of life, huh? The wheel of illusion. Call it. Some people call it illusion. So it's just spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. From within itself, it is not possible to see something else. Only from another place it's possible, in my experience.
So glad that we can show this here and look at.
Me too. Me too. Yeah. It's been troubling us for so long. And
So
you know,
helpful.
yeah, it is. We all know this, you know, I mean, we're sharing same, always.
It seems like we have to do it again and again and again.
Yeah, so what?
Yeah.
So what?
The best
Yeah.
thing ever.
we also see a lot of growing in each other. Yeah. Through each other, you know.
Without the others, I don't know.
Exactly. That's a hint. The moment it feels alone, it's terror. The moment it comes into connection, it relaxes. It's just like that. It's that simple. And it seems like it has lived in exile, separated for a long time. That's how it seems.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, you too. Champa.
Hallo Meike.
Guten Morgen.
Morgen. Hello everyone. Yeah.
So how is your system doing it?
Right now it gets a little excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give it some time. Give it a moment. Yeah. I asked a bit too early.
Yeah. That's what it does always.
Yes, I can feel. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, this morning it immediately entering the field felt like opening up all the cells to drink. Really, all the cells were little fish mouth. Yeah.
It feels like this, yeah, when you say that. Oh, wow.
And it was interesting. Words do something. When you spoke about grounding, I all of a sudden felt my back and my spine totally clear, and that made much more present feeling of being here.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah.
I'm really interested in, it's like my system is exploring that these days, kind of consciously, you know, this, when it's, the more it comes here, including embodiment, and more it kind of anchors itself. I'm just using words. And from here, like being anchored, being here, it can build bridges into every realm, every dimension, every frequency that exists without getting lost.
Mhm.
That's really interesting to me these days. See, because I mean, I'm sure every one of us, you know, knows so many different realms, you know, but most of us have been dissociated, and then it gets really, really scary because it's losing embodiment, or it's losing its anchor in a certain way. So I'm noticing the more it can be here, then it's like as if it's building bridges into wherever it needs to go, and it can do that consciously because it always knows its way back. Yeah. Thanks for inspiring that.
And partly relate, yes.
Say again.
I can partly relate
Yeah, I
what you're
guess
saying.
that's why. I guess that's why it came out. Mm. It's rare that one can speak about this.
Mm. And I can see the moment the moment some scary vibes come in, it's going to thinking, and then everything
Exactly.
is lost.
Yes.
And it's only it's like thinking is a trance. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, it hasn't learned anything else yet,
Yet.
but we're just starting to explore, actually. Yeah. So that it knows that there are other pathways. Because that thinking, I mean, that's now, wow, it's actually comes out of fashion, huh? Yeah. It
Doesn't help at all. Yeah.
No. It has created so much anxiety, so much terror.
I can relate
fear.
it. It's actually fear and fighting. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's like it has to run away, or if it can't, it will fight. Yeah. Gosh, it's now, since you mentioned it, that you feel your spine, and it's so beautiful to meet you, Champa. It's like yeah, You just can feel how available the system is.
Mm. For me, it feels always like the actual physical heart is making one. How to tell it? Es macht wie so einen freudigen Herzschlag. Wumm. Und dann öffnet sich's wieder ein bisschen. Also it makes one beat, then who's opening up to more.
Yeah.
It enjoys and then again.
Yes, exactly. And then again, yeah. Yes.
It adjusts to the new frequency and
Mm.
you know.
Mm. Mm.
Mm.
See, and now I can sense actually we are traveling, kind of, wherever, but we are anchored here. We are at the same time here, so it's not scary at all.
Not now.
No, it's totally together. It's actually so simple, huh? The moment it contracts and feels alone, terror, anxiety, fear, fight, just all of that. And the moment it comes into connection like this, wow, it's ready to go anywhere. It's fearless.
Yeah.
It's ready, so ready. It's like, when are we going? When and where?
Yes.
Yes, that direction. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's play. Let's
Yeah,
play.
it's actually a joy about the unknown.
Yes.
Where in another realm the unknown is always the most, and here it's totally different.
Yeah. And there I have the mother and child situation again, the image. It's like when the child feels safe in its environment, you can see. It's like, they play, and sometimes they check. Oh, yes, everything is okay. I can go even a step further. And then sometimes it gets scary all of the time. Oh, quickly run back. Then it regulates itself again. And then it can go out. Next adventure. We can do this consciously. Mhm.
Yeah, it was
So
like that.
beautiful.
It was something like your system is inviting mine in a big sphere, and
Mhm.
the habits were knocking ding dong, and but they they couldn't come. They couldn't become because of the connection between us.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, sorry, I just have a mozzie here again. I've been bitten like crazy. We have had so much rain and now they're kind of everywhere. Didn't get it. Mm.
Good for now, I feel.
Oh. Mm.
Mhm.
It was actually huge what you just shared. Yeah.
Mm.
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 Yeah. Good schmatz.
Ja, für alle anderen auch. To all others too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Mm. Marina. I pronounced it in German. Did you notice?
I like
Your
that.
name. Marina.
Well, it's how it was pronounced when I was a child.
Yes, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, I guess because I was just talking to Champa.
Yeah, Marina.
Marina.
Well, when Champa was saying about the ding dong, that's thought. It's been all ding dong here. Eating, and it's just like
Ding dong, ding dong.
it's like not, like being in satsang, but like doing everything but. Yeah, so that's what's happening here.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of anxiety here, worry, and and yeah, then the eating. Anyway,
So let's consciously, and we're not dismissing this, so
Yeah.
it's mentioned, and it's acknowledged,
Yeah.
all of that. And
Yeah.
let's consciously invite, you tell me what. Yeah, exactly. That's a good start. Huh? Consciously. It's just, coming on those pathways that you know already. The pathways of, call it satsang, or call it our field, or call it connection, or recognizing each other, or whatever you want to call this. Let's see how we can invite this. And we're not dismissing, and we're taking this with us. It's like, come on, anxiety and worry and all of it. Come on with us. We're not leaving you here. But we're all interested in this. So come on, guys. Under my arms and my wings and my pockets and everywhere. But we know where we want to go. We know that. See, you're putting your toes in already. Can you feel? Something's putting just, yes. Yeah. Oh, and then the sweet tears are kind of coming. The longing also to come and bring it all into this field, our home here, all together. Yeah, so sweet and so quick. It just, needs a little invitation. All the ding dongs can come here. I like that with the ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. They all welcome here.
Yeah, I could really relate with Bettina when you're talking about the fighting. That's exactly how it felt.
Yeah. And all of us the same. We know that by now. It's the same system.
Without this, life seemingly gets harder and harder.
I'm glad to hear.
Thanks.
It obviously has to come to this point. Yeah. I'm joking. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all to do with the physical body and worrying and not wanting, and da 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 da. Oh, it's like trying to work it out, trying to get better, trying to get healthy. Eat this, try that. It's like,
yeah, it's barking. Yeah, it's really barking. Yeah, and now we're looping back. So that was just a little loop into that, and now invite me into what's interesting. Yes, just like this. Thanks for inviting me immediately. And can you tell us how your system is doing it?
Like my back feels more solid, like my spine feels more solid, like held. It's weird because it sort of feels like my back there's presence here, and then here there's still.
Yeah. And it moves backwards and forwards, huh? Yes. Fantastic. What else do you notice, Marina? Really get into detail, get fine.
feeling that comes with it is that of like life's taking care. Or, a
I love
trust.
those movements. I love
Yeah.
this gesture. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a yeah, it's like it's almost obvious that life can be trusted completely.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
It's sort of in the background and there's still the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's both.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the focus is a bit more on that it's nearly obvious that life can be trusted. When the invitation is on sharing the detail.
Yeah.
What else?
More relaxation, like that. It's like a breathing out and letting go.
Mm.
And the contrast right now is kind of a relaxation, and then here is yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, and that it's like my back's being held. Feels like that's what's real.
Yes. Mm.
Sort of sense sort of a whole lot of beings, or like
Mm-hmm.
behind me.
Yes. Mm. Mm. It's like all of that becomes available, huh? Like every being that has always been here is coming into contact. Oh, I love feeling that.
With so much love is yeah.
Yeah.
See light around you.
I see light around you too. Oh. Beautiful, beautiful you.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful you.
Mhm.
It's really a practicing, isn't it? Of it's almost practice of
Yes, yes, yes.
tuning
it
into
is.
to that, not the
Yes, yes, yeah. Whenever it comes available, whenever it comes to mind, or
yeah.
practicing. How did the system do it again? You know, like exploring new, brand new every time. How was it again? Oh yeah, like this. And ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Okay, another little loop. And then, how did it do it again? Yeah. When we wake up, then whenever it's available in the day, when we go to bed, feeding it, feeding it, feeding it. And when we come together, sharing how we all do it.
Yeah.
Isn't it exquisite? You know, like everyone has that unique expression, and we track it and witness it with each one. Yeah, I can follow this. And it opens up. We have no language for it, but somehow we still can follow.
Yeah.
And so quickly we're there. And then hearing each other speak from this. It's so clear that it's possible to live this, isn't it? I mean, we have lived that other also for so long.
Ever.
Yeah, forever. And I mean, to me, it's so clear that we can live this. When we come into, when it kind of enters the realm of connection. By grace, or I don't know how that happens. But to track it is fun. To try to track is really fun. We see it in each other immediately. Yeah? We recognize that. Oh.
Thank you for what you bring, Meike. It's just beautiful. I'm so grateful. So grateful for this little community of ours. The regular people.
Yeah. Thanks, Marina. Thanks for acknowledgement. It makes it grow even bigger. You know, just every little drop that's put on it, it's like, oh yes, it shoots little flowers. Yeah.
No, what you bring is just it's I don't have a word for it.
I can feel.
Thank you.
No, but if you find a word, it's even
I know.
better. Yeah.
I think of words, but they're not enough. It doesn't, you know, I could say wonderful or beautiful, but it's not quite.
Yeah.
It's more than that. It's more than
but
that.
doesn't matter, because whatever word you use, there is that it's spoken from this field, and that it sounds different than when it comes from that other rhyme. So it doesn't matter which word you use, actually. It's more the energetic that's behind it that, you know, it just drops right into the heart.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have Zoe's expression of English.
Yeah, I know. I think, me neither. Me neither.
Yeah.
I think just everyone, however they express, is so precious. Each expression is absolutely precious. It's not about the words. Yeah. So thanks for trying, and thanks for bringing exactly what you bring.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mwah. Kisses, kisses,
Everyone.
kisses.
Yeah, kisses for everyone.
Okay, my precious. We are at the end of our time. Sorry, next time. Yeah, thank you, beloveds.
Thank you, Meike. I just have to speak. It's amazing. Just amazing. What a beautiful invitation you gave. Very deeply touching. The simplicity of your invitation and the depth that it is inviting to. Exquisite.
Thank you, Judith. Thanks for receiving. Bye. Okay. Oh, yeah, what to say? Love, 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 peace. Ciao.